Om Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. This is the description of God. Sita is seated on his left side, is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramcharitmanas, the Ramayana, Balakanda, that's still the first chapter, first section. And verse number 326 onwards. Puni puni ramahi chitavasya sakuchati manu sakuchain harat manohara min chabi prema piyase nain. Remember, we are all invited into Rama's marriage. And try to bring about that type of imagination and that type of inner feeling of what type of joy awaits you if you were to join Rama's marriage. First think of how do you feel when you have some loved one getting into a big celebration, marriage, or sometimes you are just celebrating holidays and so forth. I will not go into too much detail. And people who wait for holidays to come to be joyous. I'm talking to the masses. But then hardly they figure out all the materials needed for being joyous. They get tired. Now, to wait for another Christmas to come. Another Diwali, another Vijayadashmi, so forth. How to say it? I'm leaving. There's a constant celebration in this world. And allow your mind to understand God is a reality permeating the entire universe. And all these descriptions are meant to lead you towards that type of enlightened state of mind. But do not restrict your inner joy. How do you restrict it? Your mind creates its own conditions. If I have it, then I will be happy. If I don't have it, I will keep myself under stress. But I know it won't happen. The world is gone far in a negative way. Well, then I must wait for such a yuga. What choice? I'm joking, but spiritual insight takes you away beyond the world of time, space, causation, beyond WWW, beyond who, where, why. Mind is constantly figuring out who, where, why. But all the time, the reality is divine reality, the absolute. The reflections of the sun go through all turmoils, but all the time the sun is calm and cool. Stories operating through the cinema show, they go through all types of suspense and agitations, but the screen remains just the same. When you come to turn your attention to that boundless peace that awaits you, shouldn't you be happy? It should excel millions of celebrations and festivities. Keep that in view and develop that internal movement. And who controls your internal movement? You are independent in that movement. You need all types of teachings and guidance, but that's what Satsanga and scriptural teachings are. But when you begin to receive those, you begin to discover within yourself so now, and in this storyline, the whole story has been presented in a profound way to lead your mind to be in touch with God and to enjoy the divine rasa, the real rasam. Sita Devi, who is the bride for Rama and Sita, you must realize there are 4 bridegrooms and 4 brides. Rama is this soul equipped with wisdom, implying the soul is in a potential state for discovering I am all that. That's the reality behind every soul. Every soul is Rama. Believe it or not. Until you find Rama, there is no Arama. Arama means rest. So Rama is marrying Sita. Sita is Viveka Buddhi, intuitive intellect. Your understanding and your soul, they are the match. And this, when the soul has broken down Shiva's bow represents the earthly pull. The soul is receiving a pull towards world of karma, a pull that leads the soul to embodiments, embodiment after embodiment, looking for perfection and complete satisfaction in a world that is imperfect, a world that is illusory, maya. That pull, when soul comes to, when you become led by your good karmas and by grace of God, when you come to that state, deep down your aspiration is not to come back into the world of birth and death. When you have come to that state, you have as if broken a big pull that has been pulling you constantly. And once you have done that, Viveka Buddhi, the intuitive intellect that has been waiting to see the soul smile and rise. The Viveka Buddhi, that intuitive intellect, the role of intuitive intellect is to lead the soul to enlightenment. Once enlightened, soul is just one non-dual absolute. But this is the stage described now in a way that people can listen to it like ordinary marriage going on. Because many people hold in their mind that this was a historical fact, and they count their how many horses were there, how many elephants, and who gave whom and how much. But that's a childish level. That you won't expect from me. Now, in that setting, Rama is marrying Sita, Lakshmana is marrying Urmila, Bharata is marrying Mandavi, Shatrughna is marrying Shruti Kirti, 4 brothers. They all representing 4 yogas. Shatrughna is Karma Yoga, yoga of action. Bharata is Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion. Lakshmana is Raja Yoga, yoga of meditation. Rama is Jnana Yoga, yoga of wisdom. Yoga of wisdom is the climax. And they are bearing their special radiations of your understanding. The understanding leads the soul to higher and higher level of spiritual evolution. And all that I have already given you before, so I'm not going into details, just reminding you that all this, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, they are all in your own personality. And the most profound aspect is focus your attention on, at this stage, Rama and Sita. Soul matching up with Vivek Buddhi. In human language, whenever there is marriage and 2 persons match up in marriage, there is so much fascination. Try to imagine what type of fascination you will feel in that advanced level. Love that puts an end to the cycle of birth and death. That love awaits in every soul. What the verse means, Sita looks at Rama again and again and shows a sense of shyness, because all are also looking at them. You see. The husband and wife match, both are there. There are so many people also looking. Looking how one is looking at the other. The eyes of Sita are like beautiful fishes. The eyes of Sita are so thirsty for Rama's revelation that they excel the beauty of those beautiful fishes in a clear lake. श्याम शरीर सुभाए सुभावन, शोभा कोटि मनोजल जावन, जावक जुत पद कमल सुहाए, मुनि मन मधुप रहत जिन्ह छाए. Rama's personality is Swarthi, kind of a cloud type, a cloud that brings beautiful rain and causes peacock to dance with great joy. And along with it, all the farmers dance because the rain is coming. That type of Syamal complexion you hear in reference to most gods, Rama, Krishna. They are all Syam Sharir. The Syam is more kind of a bluish type, and again, whatever I will say is allegorical, don't take it literally. So when we recite the prayer, Rama, Krishna, and then in the prayer, Syam Sharir, Syamal, that lifts your mind to the expansion of the sky, how the clouds dance in the beautiful blue sky. Here all that has been brought to you in a test tube. Shobha koti mano jalajavan. Now all the experience of beauteous show that you have, none of them compares with that. Millions of Cupid God is a symbol of person discovering some pleasure that is so fascinating that seems to blow one's mind away. But even millions of them put together do not compare with the type of fascination that radiates from Rama. You can't fall in love with him. You have to rise and soar to attain him. I'm joking. In worldly level, the term fall is used. Same doesn't apply when the love is towards God. He will never fall there. And the feet of Rama are decked with a special type of cream called Mahavar. It is a cream made out of sandalwood, turmeric, and many other things. It creates a reddish glow in the sole of the feet. And they look so beautiful. You look at his feet, you are not looking at human feet, it's a beautiful lotus. Comes from another world, not this Brahma can create it. It's incomparable beauty. And even the minds of sages, when they look at that, the mind becomes like a black bee. And a black bee has nothing else to do but to poke into that lotus and drink the nectar. All this allegorical, and it helps an aspirant. When you do japa, pray, let my mind become like a black pea. And with each japa, let me have a little bite, little taste of the divine sweetness. Attain success in that, you need nothing else. All sadhanas will be transcended. Mind that can draw inspiration from God's name. Just like a black bee without thinking of anything. There are so many things to think of. Black bee doesn't care. Just goes into the, the lotus. The mind is like a kid, and you have to train the kid. Where lies the real joy? And once you have trained it, you don't have to say any more. The mind will not wait for you to tell it. It becomes sahaja, spontaneous. Pita punita manohara dhoti, harati balarabi damini jyoti. Every part of Rama, every cloth, garment, ornament, all becomes a basis for meditation and allowing your mind to be highly inspired. His dhoti, the cloth he is wearing, is yellow, beautiful yellow, a shining yellow. That excels the light emanating from the sun, as well as the light that flashes through lightning. That type of garment. We are teaching how you meditate on God. You shouldn't meditate on God just like an ordinary picture and all the details of a painting. But bring vitality, bring a magical transfiguration. When looking at his feet, remember, countless sages go into ecstasy, that feet. And looking at his cloth, the yellow, pitambar, that yellow represents intuitive mind. It's a mystical color for wisdom. Kal kinkini kati sutra manohar, bahu vishala vibhushana sundar. In his waist, there's the girdle, and girdle has some small little bells. Rama was fashionable. And those small little bells were creating special music. And his long arms, they are also well decked with ornaments. Pita janevu maha chabideyi, karamudrika chori chituleyi. Yellow sacred thread is enhancing his glory, highlighting his presence. And the ring in his finger that steals away one's heart. If you want to understand more, you have to understand every aspect of Rama tells a big story. That ring is the one that Hanuman takes across the ocean and drops before Sita and becomes the key to the destruction of Ravana. That's a storyline. But what does philosophically, what does it imply? It's a divine name with the potentiality of immense power. We use the term mantra. Mantra has the potentiality of mantra chaitanya. Ordinarily you do mantra but don't understand what it means. But when you become very deeply involved and mantra brings you as if your mind has become a black bee and God has become presence of God has become so fascinating. When you come to that type of experience, nothing of this world matters. No power on this earth can frighten you. Mantra Chaitanya. That is implied in Rama's ring. If you repeat mantra well, it will ring within your mind. And that applies to all, your Ishta mantra, any mantra you have. All mantras are of the same God in different aspects. सोहत व्याह साज सब साजे उर आयत उर भवभूषण राजे. And all that is according to the traditional ritual, all needed decorations, adornments have been given to Rama's body. And in his broad chest, the beautiful ornament. पियर ऊपर नाका खासोती दुहु आचरण ही लगे मणि मोती. He has scarf with special fringes. In those fringes, there are jewels and pearls, giving a kind of a worldly simile, things that people consider so valuable. That's what in every marriage people they change the ring or ring is given. People are looking for what type of ring. Find it is not precious, they become frustrated. The eyes of Sri Rama are like lotuses. His ears are also decked with kundals, special earrings. His face is a very treasure house of all that is wonder and beautiful. Sundar Brikuti Manohar Nasa his eyebrows, his nose, all are. When you meditate upon the deity, you go through all the, allow your mind to just travel, unrestricted, according to your feeling. Bhala tilaku ruchirata nivasa. And on his forehead there is tilak mark, the red mark. And all that is lalat, forehead. The word lalat itself is a mystical word. Lala, lal, relates to divine love. When your soul enjoys that love, your head shines. This is the art, Attalika. This is the high story level of the building. In that, the lal shines. And he has garlands of jewels and diamonds and a special crown on his head. All that, all the decorations are divine, radiations of divine glory. Gathe mahamani maur manjula anga sabachit chorahi purnari suraban sundari barahi biloki sabatine torahi mani basan bhushan bari arati karahi mangal gavahi surasuman varsahi suta magada bandi sujas sunavahi. His crown on his head, decked with so many beautiful jewels, they steal the heart of people. Steal means even though you don't think that you have seen him, you steal your heart. Has get what involved. The women of Janakpur, and among them were all divine goddesses, not a single was left up there in the heavenly world. They were all appearing as human personalities. Seems like a very big thing, but that's the reality of the world. All of you, same divine set. And they are looking at Rama, they couldn't believe that they had such a fascinating privilege of seeing. Sometimes people get big travels and they come back with one picture of a squirrel's face. And his mushroom type of tail. How to travel all that and found this fulfillment Rama represents that the real goal of your soul. The soul is looking for Rama. The world gives you only a little bit of illusions, and human heart goes after them. But if your Rama becomes, if glimpse of Rama comes, even whatever degree of that glimpse, that excels all your fascinating projects of this world. Keeping that in view, coming back to the storyline, all those people, the divine set, they are seeing Rama's being prepared for the marriage process. And they couldn't believe that they have come to see such a thing, Rama. And what did they do? Tin to rahi. Figure out what it is. Tin to rahi means when you come to see something so delightful that it begins to blow your mind away, then you take a little straw and break it. Implying, oh God, do not take this away from me. Or, oh God, don't let this fade away. Again, in Hindu culture, may no evil eye strike this beloved source. So you are trying to break that evil. मनि बसन भूषण बारी आरती करहि मंगल गावहि. And offering jewels, clothes, ornaments, they are doing arati, waving the light. Sura sumana barsahi, suta magada bandi jua suja susunavahi. Gods are showering flowers. And different type of musicians, bards and special people who sing glory of great personalities, they are all doing their different jobs. Kohabarahi aane kumar kumari suase ninha sukha pai kai ati priti lokik riti lagi karna mangala gai kai. Married women and all types of young men and women. Here is a focus is on all the women who are singing Mangal Geet. They are so joyous and expressing their joy, and along with it blessing Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and their whole set. Lahkauri Gauri Sikhav Ramahi Siye Sanasadar Sarad Kahe. Parvati Devi in human form is teaching how to feed each other, Rama and Sita. Teaching Rama, pick up like this, and put it where the mouth is. Be careful, don't put the fingers into his teeth. I'm joking. Who is teaching? Parvati Devi. And Saraswati Devi is by the side of Sita. Say, look, open your mouth. And this sight all those who are seeing this, as if they have found the fulfillment of the purpose of their whole life. And it is really so. If you have come to that type of experience of soul wedding, Vivek Buddhi, intuitive knowledge, which surpasses all the joys of the world, where love becomes infinite, peace beyond imagination. And of course, that's the fulfillment of the purpose of life. That purpose must be kept in your vision, visualization, according to your capacity. The more you do, your life flows in a more magical way. You face your challenges, just like the trees face so many challenges, but they don't complain, they have nothing. Sage, spontaneous. Nij pani mani mahu देखियति मूरति स्वरूप निधान की चालति न भुज बल्ली विलोकनी विरह भय बस जान की. Now, this is all the spicing of the story. Sita Devi, wearing a crystal ring, and the crystal brings the reflection of Rama in it. So she sees Rama reflected in her crystal. To others it seems she is not looking at Rama, but she is involved in it, enchanted, only afraid that somehow the crystal should not start shaking. And that's the darshan. She's so fascinated that she keeps her arm is like a creeper, a magical creeper. And that has to be calm, not to be shaking, so that one can see the picture in the mirror. And her eyes are also steady, very careful, nothing should shake. And during this time, when in marriage ceremonies, bridegroom meet, but others create a lot of humor and dance and joy and hasi khet. And so the joyous expressions were emanating from the crowd. The friends of Sita finally took Rama and Sita to a special apartment. तेहि समय सुनी आशीष जहाँ तहाँ नगर नभ आनंद महा. During that time, in the whole city and in the sky, the sound of blessing permeated, resonated everywhere. Immense joy everywhere. चिरुजिया हूँ जोरी चारु चार्यो मुदित मन सब ही कहा. All of them, they are giving blessings to these 4 brothers and their 4 brides. May they live, may all the blessings shower on them. That's what all the ashrams are meant to do. What do I mean? Every individual is Rama potential. Every individual, when you become involved in integral yoga, then 4 divine aspects begin to operate through your personality. Karma becoming Karma Yoga, Shatrugna marrying Shruti Kirti. Bharata, Bhakti aspect, marrying Mandavi. Dhyana aspect, marrying Urmila, shimmering. Rama aspect, marrying Sita. Soul marrying Vivek Buddhi. May this set and their marriage be blessed. That's the blessing. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Jogindra siddha munisha deva biloki prabhudundu bihani chale harashi varashi prasuna nija nija loka jaya 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 bhani. Great yogis, siddhas, sages, gods, they all played on trumpets and showered flowers and said, Jai ho, Jai ho, Jai ho. Thus they departed to their worlds. सहित बधू टिन्ह कुंवर सब तब आये पितुपास शोभा मंगल मोद भरी उमगेउ जनु janavas. Now all these 4 brothers along with their 4 brides, they came to their special apartment. पुनिज जवनार भाई बहुभांति पठे जनक बोलाई बोराती बराती. And then there was a banquet of different types. And King Janaka became deeply involved in at this occasion. परत पावरे बसन अनुपा सुतन समेत गवन कियो भूपा. King Dasharatha, along with his 4 sons and 4 daughter-in-laws, entered into that special apartment, and as they moved, special carpets were presented in front of them. It's called pavade, parat pavade. That's old style, courtesy and festive expressions. You go on putting the carpet before you. Today we call it red carpet. Old times, many colored. सादर सबके पाए पखारे जथा जोग पीढ़न पैठारे. And with great love and respect, their feet were washed. And then they were given seats, special seats called pidhas. King Janaka, with great love and devotion, washed the feet of King Dasharatha. The expression of his humility, his affection, his love cannot be described. After washing Dasharatha, Bahuri Ram Pad Pankaj Dhoye, Je Har Hriday Kamal Mahu Goye. Then he washed Rama's lotus feet. That lotus feet, that is the secret treasure Shiva holds in the lotus of his heart. So it's not an ordinary experience. And likewise, he washed the feet of three brothers, considering them same as Rama. आसन उचित सबहि नृपदीन है, बोली सूपकारी सबलीन है. King Janaka gave proper seats for all those who were present, and then those who were to serve food, they were called old style plates were placed in old style pattals from a special, like banana trees. But then they are not, though they are called pattals, but they were all made out of jewels, looking like pattals, fake pattals. सुपोधन सुरभि सरपि सुंदर स्वादु पुनीत छन महु सबके परसुगे चतुर सुवार बिनीत. All those who were serving, they were remarkable people. They were divine personalities. They served tasty, delicious dal, bhat, rice preparation, dal preparation, that's and ghee, butter, and all milk products. Panch kaval kari jevan lage, gari gan suni ati anurage. No, I'm going to details so that you are, well, this is a flavor for you. You enjoy the rasa. Otherwise you can say, oh, they're married. Now let's see what they Now when they began their food, 5 pieces, little portions with your hand. They are put outside of your plate, little. And 2 ways it is done. Pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. And another aspect, you are paying 5 debts. And each time food is served, your mind follows that tradition, that you are living here to pay 5 debts. That not to make you miserable. Debt to God. And that's the best debt to pay. To attain enlightenment, that's the way we pay it. Debt to sages, by studying their teachings. Debt to forefathers, by doing good works that highlight the family line. We'll always remember whose family line this person was. Debt to human beings, serving God in people around you. And you are constantly served by human beings. There is a mutual dependence. And debt to all animals and birds. You are indebted. They make you relax without your going to psychologist. And another thing is most amusing. Gari gan suni ati anurage. Their songs, lot of abusive words. Now, I'll give you an illustration. You are singing this kirtan. Sitaram, Sitaram. Another one comes, Radharam, Radharam. In the worldly terms, it is abuse. Can't match up somebody's wife with somebody else. But it is profoundly joyous because they are one and the same. You break the normal style, and out of joy you go beyond it. So it is joyousness that is expressing through abrupt way of saying things. Look at this, Jasratha. How ugly he looks. His eyes are nowhere else, just on Rama. That's not ugly. I'm joking. I'm mixing up. That gives flair to a relaxed assembly. And when everyone is constantly doing according to the law, according to everything, then it is not relaxing. If sadhana is to be viewed always with perfect precision, then you are not succeeding in sadhana. And at the same time, in the very early stage, you break all the precision. And that also is bad. Jump and dance only when you have attained something good. And with this I'll conclude. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramayana.